The momentum is finally picking up at the University of South Florida after a 7-6 season and a Boca Bowl win versus Syracuse, 45-0. Head coach Alex Golesh have the Bulls riding high. And this is very evident in the South Florida Bulls recruiting because according to 247sports.com, the South Florida Bulls finished the 24 class ranked number 67 in the nation, which was number 1 in the American Conference. Also currently right now for the 25 class, they're sitting at 57, which is also again number 1 in the American Conference. So this is telling me one thing. Players believe in Alex Golesh because we all know that the University of South Florida is in sunny Tampa, Florida. That is not hard to get kids to come and live in Tampa, Florida. It is one of my favorite Florida cities. Go there all the time. So now that they finally have a guy in place he knows the offense, he knows how to build a team, you're going to continue seeing South Florida go up. So today on Tater Too Real, I'm going to keep it too real on why I believe. Put your stock in the South Florida Bulls. Stay tuned. The South Florida Bulls are returning 9 starters, none bigger than quarterback Byrum Brown, who broke the school's single-season record in passing touchdowns, passing percentage, and also passing yards. He is only one of 2 quarterbacks, him and Jaden Daniel last year, to have at least 3,000 yards passing and 800 yards rushing. So the South Florida Bulls will have an absolute playmaker at quarterback. But if the South Florida Bulls would like to have Mr. Byrum Brown healthy the whole season, the offensive line is definitely going to have to do a better job. Byrum Brown got sacked 43 times last season. That is not healthy going forward, as many of you already know. And head coach Alex G went out and addressed that need. He brought in the transfer player in Jack Whitty from the University of Colorado. He brought in Big Junior Uzbezu from the University of Vanderbilt. Also, he brought in players via the high school ranks. So the offensive line definitely got addressed this past season. Will they be better? Will they be worse? Time will tell. Running back Naquan Wright seemed to be the guy who separated himself as the main running back for the South Florida Bulls. He's dynamic, he can catch, he can run it between the tackles outside. He's kind of an all-purpose back. Also at the receiver position, the South Florida Bulls had the program's first ever 1,000-yard receiver in Sean Atkins. Also, they brought in 4-star tight end Jonathan Echols, who could have went anywhere in the country, Alabama, Georgia, you name it. So for a school like South Florida to get a player like Jonathan Echols shows you where the school is trending. And I definitely believe Coach Alex G has a plan for him. So now you're starting to see South Florida get these dynamic playmakers. And I'm definitely going to stop by and watch a South Florida home game at some point this season. Now let's talk about the defense. When you're looking at the South Florida Bulls defense, 2 players stand out immediately. Defensive back Amarius Brown, also linebacker Jalen Shuler. Tater Too Real, why did those 2 players stand out? Amarius Brown is the team's leading defensive back. Also, linebacker Jalen Shuler is the team's leading tackler at 97 tackles. Both of those players made all AAC honorable mention, so they're the 2 top players on this defense. Also, they got DeMarco Augustine, safety transfer from Youngstown State. He is looking like he's going to play early and often. Also, they brought in defensive line transfer from FAU, DeMarcus Hawthorne, among other players. This defense wasn't great last year. It was about average, a little above average. But again, head coach Alex Golesh has addressed the team's need. He is bringing in talent, whether it's freshman Fred Gaskins III, who is looking like he's going to be a pretty damn good player. He's a borderline 4-star at safety for them. Also, freshman linebacker Rodney Hill from Mayland High School in Daytona Beach, Florida. Shout out to my hometown. He is doing a tremendous job in building this team. Now, let's talk about the schedule and how many games I think they're going to win. The South Florida Bulls will kick off their season versus Bethune-Cookman Wildcats on August 31st. They will go on to play teams like Southern Miss, Alabama, Miami, Memphis, to name a few. I truly believe in my heart the South Florida Bulls are going to go 9-3 at best, 8-4 at worst. Now, Tater Too Real, who do you have them losing against? I believe the Miami Hurricanes, Alabama, and Tulane will beat South Florida. Tater Too Real, you said Tulane. Guys, Tulane is going to be very, very talented. Go and look at their recruiting class and look at the players they brought in, the 4-stars, Mario Williams, Shaz Preston. They got some talent at Tulane. Do not sleep on them. Also, I'm kind of 50-50 on the Memphis game. That's why I said 8-4 at worst, 9-3 at best, because Memphis is going to be very, very talented on offense. And they're another team too that their recruiting is picking up. They just landed a 4-star quarterback in Antoine Hill Jr. So as of right now, I'm going to say the Bulls are going to finish 9-3 at best, 8-4 at worst. You guys let me know what you think. Shout out to the South Florida Bulls. Shout out to Tampa. This is your boy Tater Too Real, where we always keep it too wet, too real. Holla.